My name is Greg Ellis, and welcome to Redskin Review. This is our 7th show for the 2012 season. It's being taped on Wednesday, October 3rd, and in this show, we'll take a look back at the Redskins' big win at Loveland to go 3-3 on the year and 3-0 in the league. And of course, we'll look ahead to this week's monumental game at home against Turpin. With me, as always, Dan Albers, Coach Giesting. Guys, welcome.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks.
And Coach, for the second week in a row, you went down 14-0 in the first quarter. This time against a really good opponent. And from that point on, boy, both sides of the ball stepped up. What a great win for you.
It was a really good win. Obviously a terrible start to get down 14-0. We gave them a short field. First of all, our kickoff was awful, and so, but we stopped them that time and made them punt. But then we threw interception, and they had the short field. They went in and scored. Then we had a bad punt, went in and scored. So, yeah, it's not ever good to start that way. But we just kept playing, and offensively we finally found our rhythm, and they got comfortable and cut out some of their mistakes. And you know, defensively we were playing pretty well most of the night. So, you know, we were able to come back and take control of the game in the second half.
Loveland came into the game with 3 straight shutouts, and actually 3.5 games before they had not even been scored upon. And they scored 21 points on them, and boy, that was a big factor in the game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we knew they were good. Their defense is big and physical, and you know, they blitz a lot and they play a lot of man-to-man. So we figured we could get some. We'd have some chances at some big plays, and but I think the best thing was I think our offensive line just took control of the game about midway through the second quarter. And even though we were losing at halftime 14-7, we felt pretty good that we would be able to continue to move the football on the ground, and that proved to be the case. You know, Kevin and Kamel both had big games running the football, and you know, our offensive line is a big, strong group of guys. They did a good job.
Me and Dan were talking during the game. The third quarter, we even said to each other, looks like the offensive line is starting to wear them down a little bit.
Yeah, I think they were. They were out there a lot too. We were running a fair amount of plays. And I think their defense is used to being out there 3, 4, 5, 6 plays and getting off the field, and we were making them stay out there 8 to 10, 11, 12 plays, and it was wearing on them. It really was.
We've talked about the defense all year, our defense, and they've had a couple of games where they did not perform well.
Right.
But I tell you what, Loveland had 12 first downs and just over 200 yards, and a lot of those came in the fourth quarter when we were more or less than like a sort of a prevent defense.
Right.
So what a great, by far the best game for the defense.
I think so. I think so overall. You know, we held the running back to like 64 yards, I think, and I mean he was averaging over 100 yards a game, and really kind of shut down their rushing attack, which is what they're kind of known for. And like you said, they got a lot of yards at the end of the game. That last drive, they probably got 60, 65, 70 yards on that. We were playing kind of soft, and you know, so really. Take that away, we probably held them to about 140 yards, which is really a great effort by our defense. But I thought they were physical, and the defensive coaches did a nice job. They had a good game plan with certain formations that Loveland had that we felt like we could get into some things, and the kids did a good job of executing that.
I think one of the turning points of the game really was just a huge play was the long touch on the 61-yard touchdown pass from Kevin Rogers to Jared Cook. And, I mean, Kevin just has had a beautiful touch on the ball with Jared. And they've really done a nice job hooking up. Yeah,
they have. And that was big. I mean, it was an explosive play. It gave us a lot of momentum. It was an exciting play. And we needed that score because that got us within a touchdown then at the half. Because if we'd have been down 2 touchdowns at the half, it would have been a tough way to go. But you know, we knew we were getting the ball coming out the second half, and so that was big. And you're right, Kevin and Jared have kind of found themselves, and Kevin's throws have faded pretty well.
And it just seemed like too, also not only seemed like the players for Loveland and then the crowd too kind of just were deflated, like I can't believe they just scored on it. I mean, it really did. The noise and how everything went, and they're like, oh, we're in trouble. You know, that's
it
what
got
it really
real
felt
quiet
like.
on our side when we scored.
Well, they had a lot going on. We had helicopters and fireworks,
Rossie's fireworks,
and homecoming. I mean, there was a big event. But that's what homecoming should be, and Loveland does a nice job with that. But you know, our kids handled all that stuff pretty well, and we just once we've settled down and just kept playing, we were okay.
Kevin Rogers had a great game rushing. I think he was 24 for 154. Really, in that third quarter, it's when he really started to kind of take over the game as far as rushing, and that really helped. I think you guys and made you able to do more things with him running, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Anytime you have to defend the quarterback running the football, that's another dimension that you have to add to your defense. Normally it's 11 on 10. You don't count the quarterback running the ball, but when he's running the ball, it's 11 on 11. And you have to account for him, similar like we're going to have to this week when we play Turpin and Connor Jansen. But Kevin is a weapon running the football. He's getting, more comfortable with that. He still, runs a little bit high and, spins a little bit more than he needs to. But he tries to make guys miss, and that's just is something that he's going to get better and better at as the year goes on.
Well, is that one reason? Because he is a pretty tall kid.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
is it
6'3".
because of that reason too?
Yeah, he's
maybe?
a tall kid, and he's got to realize he's got to get his pad level down a little bit to run over some guys because he's 190, 195 pounds. He can run over kids, and I think the rest of this year and next year that's gonna prove out. Was
that part of your game plan with him, is that you felt like you could run with Kevin, and that's why you did that in the third quarter?
Yeah, we felt like we could, but it was working so well. We probably ran him more than we normally would. I think he had, 20-some carries?
24 carries.
24 carries. We probably want to keep him around 18 or so. Him and Kamel were pretty balanced on their carries. I think Kamel had maybe 22. So it's hard to defend when you're running the read play, and whether Kevin's determining, whether Kamel gets the ball based on what the defense does and things like that. So, the offensive coaches had a great game plan as well, and to try to take advantage of some things they saw on film.
After Jared Cook had that 61-yard touchdown catch, you were putting him in a lot of positions, in the slot, wide. You were moving him all around, and were they keying on him after that? You think a little bit more than?
Well, they were playing. They were a man-to-man team, right. So by putting him in the backfield to start with, they have to make some decisions on who's going to cover him. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when someone's in the backfield, it's man-to-man, it's going to be a linebacker. And so we had some good matchups, and then when we motioned him out, they had to change who they were covering, change some of their rules a little bit of their pass defense. So we got them a little bit discombobulated at times with some things, and we were able to get Jared on a better matchup of who we wanted to versus otherwise they would just put number 9 on him all night long. He's a really good player, and but we were able to take advantage of some things and maybe get Jared on the guy we wanted to get him on. And like I said, we put a lot of time in on Sundays. The offensive coaches are there a long time, and they study the other team, and they come up with their game plan and think about what they feel might work. And we practice it all week, and it's really gratifying when it comes together on Friday nights.
I think the play that I love the most, being a former tight end, was the pass that you had to Dex Barga, and the Channel 9 loved his name too. They kept talking about him on that, but that was really huge. That was a great call because I don't think anybody expected that.
Well, we kind of, we were an empty set, and we actually took an offensive lineman out, and Dex was playing right tackle at the time, but he was eligible because the two guys were off the line on his side, and Loveland didn't recognize that he was eligible, and he ran right down the middle of the field, and we were fortunate to kind of trick them a little bit, I guess, and when you do things like that, people have to work on it in practice. Right. They have to be alert to where you're putting people, and people do that to us, and it causes us headaches. And that's just part of the game. It's part of putting your time in and game planning, watching film, and like I said, the offensive coaches do that very well. And
they did it, and then again, he turned around and got a 2-point conversion. So
he
two times
he had another big catch after that, keep the drive alive, and so it was good for Dex to have that kind of game.
Defense has made steady improvement as we talked earlier. Has it been a change in personnel? Are we starting to reap the benefits of playing the tougher competition earlier, or what do you think has contributed to that?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the tough competition woke us up and made us realize how hard we really had to play. We also have made some personnel changes. Jacob Henderlight started the year as a safety. Now he's an outside linebacker. Jason Zelest has gone into the game at safety. And because of injuries, we've had to develop some depth, and that's starting to pay off now. We have more guys that can play. We're 3 corners are playing now, and 3 or 4 outside linebackers. They've been going through things, with injuries and things, but now they're all kind of getting healthy. And so I think it's a little bit of personnel. It's a little bit of the tough competition, and the guys have just worked at it really hard. And we've really stressed the fundamentals in practice, tackling and staying in your lanes on our run fits and everything else. And they're doing a good job.
You talk about Henderlight. He had his second pick six of the year.
Yeah. How about that?
And that was a big, big play. Gave us a 2-touchdown cushion. And boy, I tell you what, that couldn't come at a better time after we'd marched all the way down the field and fumbled it deep in there.
Yeah, we were kind of conservative down there. We were trying to waste some clock, and we felt like we had total control of the game and everything. And but then we fumbled. Like I said, we fumbled the ball away, and he made a great pick, and anytime you score on defense, it's tough to overcome that.
Mm-hmm. We got the second half kickoff, and we got 9 yards. We have 4th and 1, and you didn't punt it. You went for it on their 29-yard line.
Yep.
And that says volumes for how you felt about the way the defense was playing. Did you think the offense was? I mean, what led you to decide not to punt?
We were going back and forth on it. We were thinking of lining up in our offense and having Kevin punt it like we've done. But since we play on turf all the time, it's not as good. The ball just kind of bounces up to people sometimes, even if he gets a good kick. And we went back and forth on it, and the offensive coaches said they could get it. And, I said, all right, let's go. Let's take a shot at it. And unfortunately, we didn't make it. And, but we, every now and then we take a gamble like that. And it didn't pay off, obviously, in that situation. But I think what happened after the fact was then the defense came out and stopped them. So it did pay off in that regard, and now we had a lot of confidence, and that led to later on when they punted to us, and we had the good punt return, and our guys were just knocking guys all over the place. You looked at one time, and there were 5 or 6 black jerseys just laying on the ground, and our guys were really getting excited, and it was really fun on the sidelines to see them to get that excited about things.
And you talked about before, the run defense was great. I think Peters had 1 10-yard run. Other than that, he didn't run more than like 4 yards in any given carry.
Right, and we did a nice job with when they brought the sophomore quarterback in, try to run their read stuff, and we did a pretty good job on him.
They did that early, too. They brought him in early.
Yeah, they did. So, defense, I couldn't be prouder of them. They just played really, really hard, and like I said, there's no superstars on that group of kids. They play well together, and they're very coachable, and they listen to their coaches and do what we try to get them to do, and that's all I can ask.
Again, I guess one of the drawbacks of the whole night was the penalties. Again, I think you had 9 for 73, and they called some on the offensive line, and it's really hard for me to see some of those. I can't imagine, what it is down there. So it's got to be a little frustrating.
It is frustrating. We had 2 on Carson got 2, and they were both good tackles. He just grabbed the guy, but he wasn't getting any help from his guard in that situation. And you might have noticed a couple times Carson was trying to talk to those guys a little bit on the field in a nice way. Look, you're supposed to be helping me here. And so those were legit. Jared had a couple out in space. It's hard to tell all the time on film what you're seeing, but yeah, we definitely have to cut our penalties down. It's ridiculous the amount that we get, and we've really stressed it. We stressed it in practice this week. Excuse me. And hopefully that starts to pay off too. And because if we could ever get off to a good start and not shoot ourselves in the foot all the time with the penalties, it'd be nice.
Yeah, he also had a nice big, Jared Cook had a 34-yard punt return that really puts you in a great field position. And, he's just dangerous when he gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he's quick, he's elusive, and, he kind of reversed field. And then our guys kept hustling and picking up blocks along the way, and he was real close to breaking it. So it was a big momentum play for us.
You were down 14-7 at the half, and you missed out on a scoring late in the second quarter. From getting in the red zone, but then you dominated the third quarter, and the kids really showed. I just noticed a confidence in the kids. It seemed like they just played differently than. I don't know what it was. It just seemed like they were very confident.
They were. Their confidence grew. They became more excited about the game, and it was a neat thing to see. The team grew up a little bit the other night, and even though we have some experienced guys, we still got guys. It's their first year of varsity, and they have to realize how hard you have to play all the time, every single play. And I think that happened. And
you guys started off 0-3, and then you come back, you win 3 straight games, and against a very good Loveland team, and it really puts you guys in position to if you happen to win against Turpin, in great position to win that league.
Yeah, we still have 3 league games left, Turpin, Glen Estee, and Kings. But we're in a good spot. And we're just trying to go one at a time now. After we lost those first 3, said, look, we're starting over. We're starting a new season. And we talked about we want to be 4-0 in our new season. That's what we're working on right now. And hopefully we can do that.
Were there any injuries from the game?
Nothing major. No, we're fairly healthy. Celeste sprained his ankle a little bit, but he's been practicing all week, so it's normal bumps and bruises.
There hasn't been any cramp issues since the second week of the season.
Cooled off a little bit. That helps.
Okay, players of the week: offense, defense, special.
Well, I gave it to Carson because he was really working hard, and offensive line did such a nice job opening up holes. And then defensively, Evan Lackner, he's just been really solid all year long, and is one of our captains. And then special teams with sophomore Cody Coffey, who's just kind of makes a lot of plays all the time. He's very active in practice all week long, and so he's well-deserved too.
Very good. And the JV and the freshman teams, how did they do this week?
JV got beat.
It's close to
15 to 14.
Yeah.
2 field goals and a safety.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, you don't see that too much in the JV game.
Gosh.
That was a tough loss for them. And then the freshmen won 28-20 against, I think, Loveland's freshmen had only had 1 loss. So finally our freshmen won, played really well, and like I keep saying every week, they're a nice group of kids. There's some good players there. They just have been kind of snake bit. And one of their better guys is out probably for the rest of the year, and they still came through with that win.
Wow.
So that'll give them some confidence.
Wow. Does Pentley kick on the JV team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about this week's game. We've been looking forward to it for like almost a year now, but the time has come. This Friday, the Redskins will play host to Turpin, and I can't tell you the last time an Anderson-Turpin game was played at home. Can you? I mean, how long has it been since we played Turpin at home?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long. We stopped playing for so many years, and so.
97, 98. Maybe, or is it later than that?
I really don't know.
It's been a long time. Turpin comes in at 6-0, and they are with us undefeated in the league, and all that is big time. But the rivalry, how are you keeping the kids, simmered down for this?
Well, I think after last week they kind of realized the importance of being prepared every week, and. I told him, I said, yeah, it's a big week. It's a big game. We're trying to go 4-0, and it's a big league game. There's playoff implications and, things like that. And I said, as the week goes on, there'll be more and more distractions for you. But I said, it doesn't matter if there's 20,000 people there or 2 people there. We have to play between the white lines, and we have to take care of our business, and we have to play as well as we can play. We can't control all those other things. And so I think we've been pretty focused all week. Hasn't been too crazy at school yet, and I think it'll be more tomorrow, and obviously a lot more on Friday. But they're prepared. They're ready to play. So that's what you want to see.
I got to watch Turpin a little bit on the game against Kings, and he looked really impressive, and very impressed with Connor Jensen. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback. He's the heart of their team, tough kid, and they play really hard. They on both sides of the ball, they're different than Loveland is offensively. They're not the power team Loveland is, but they do a good job with formations and using the whole field and spreading you out to take advantage of matchups as well. So, our defense, it's a different type of offense that they have to defend this week, and they'll take their chances throwing it deep when they feel like they have one, and they'll threaten the edges of our defense a lot more, I think, than Loveland did. Because they have decent speed. Milliken's back, and the Singh kid that's been playing since he was hurt, and Jansen, and so they can hurt you on the edge. And then defensively, they play really hard, blitz a little bit, and they're good tacklers, and they're 6-0, third in the state. I mean, they're a good team.
Do you think they'll change anything up with Milliken being back?
He played last. I think he's played the last couple weeks, so I don't think they're going to. I mean. They're going to do what they have to do and what works for them. I don't see any drastic things that they would do. You know, they've been very successful with what they've done, and Coach Stoll does a nice job with them. So, you know, they'll just play their game.
And defensively, again, let's go over that again real quick. Who were the common opponent that we've had that they look like maybe defensively?
Oh, well, Loveland's an even front. They're more of an odd front. Maybe Sycamore.
Okay.
You know, and you know, they'll have 3 down linemen. Sometimes they'll put a 4th down and stuff. But their linebackers run well. Their outside linebackers are good tacklers. So, you know, they've done a nice job on defense all year. They, you know, did a good job against Kings and came back and won that game.
Yeah, we always talk about this keys of the game, and turnover has always been an issue. Anything else that you can think of besides that? Is it?
Well,
penalties?
I think offensively it's turnovers and penalties. I mean, we had 5 turnovers last year against them. We had 3 in the first quarter. We can't afford to do that. They're too explosive. We have to take care of the football. And then obviously the penalties that get us off schedule, and then suddenly it's 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 10. That's hard to overcome that against a good team. So, you know, those are the main keys, and we've really worked on that. I think defensively is we have to tackle Jansen and be able to play on the edge, you know, and control their speed and not get beat over the top with any long passes.
Well, as we do each week when we kind of round out the show, we talk about the Alumni Association, and we have an event coming up on October 12th, which will be up at the tennis courts against Glen Estee. I think it starts about 6 o'clock. John said there's going to be a orange tent up there, so hopefully we get a lot of alumni to show up that. I'm sure we'll see a lot on Friday night. And then also this week for the game, we have our coach of the game. I think John Holmes flew in town.
Yep.
He did that last year. I think he might be in studio here. So flew in from Colorado, and he did this last year. So it's a pretty neat thing that you guys do for these guys, and we're really appreciative of what John does for the program too.
Yeah, he's been a great supporter the last couple of years, and he emailed me this week, and got hopefully all the details taken care of. And then Jason Bell also.
Yeah, I forgot about him too.
Is coach of the week. I hope Jason. I tried to contact him and get a hold of him about the game, and you know, it's just neat when you have people that support your program like those guys do, and so it's good to reward them, give them a good seat, and up close look at how things really are.
Picked a great game to do too. It's going to be a great game. But again, you can if there's any information you want to sign up for the Alumni Association, you get a hold of Coach Giesing, myself, or John Raymond. Actually, go to the website. Would be great if you could sign up. We're trying to get as many people as possible. And again, we talk about it all the time. It's going to be an ongoing thing, and it's just neat to talk to people. You hear through them on Facebook or whatever, talking about the game every Friday night.
Yeah, it is. I get emails more and more each week. Barry Martin emailed me this week, wishing me luck. You know, and he played. He was a
80s.
senior. He was a senior my first year.
Yeah.
So you know, and I've got his son in class now. So.
Oh wow.
You know, but that's neat, and you know, Nate Cosman and different guys that email me, wish me luck, and you know, so the guys are watching. They're paying attention to how we're doing.
That's great.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let's thank the folks who make this Redskin Review broadcast as well as all the games possible. The folks here at Anderson Community Television, thanks for your equipment, your airtime, and everything you do to help us get these games on as we've done for the last 22 years.
Amazing.
And thanks to Denise White for all her help. And I think we'll probably have a good spread up there this week since it's a home game.
Absolutely, that's great. I missed the last one.
And thanks to the other guys who are just as important, if not more so, than Dan and I. That's Tim Huntington, who does the camera, and Steve Martin, who does the stats, and you know, before that, Ed Barth did the spots for 21 years, and you know, we couldn't do the games without these guys, and they do it because they love the program, they love the school, and it's just fun to do, and we really couldn't do without them. So.
Don't forget Wally Pipp in there.
And Wally Pipp, John Raymond, who was barking on your doorstep there as the next broadcaster. So he does a great job on the.
He does.
He had some great insight this week for the Loveland game. I thought it really added to it.
He did a great job.
So again, if you can't make a game, and especially this week, I know there's going to be a lot of interest from alumni and relatives and grandparents, things like that. We do all the games live on Dan's website, usbnsports.com. So if you can't make a game, or you know someone who can't make it there, I have to imagine it's probably going to be as close to sold out as you can get.
I would think so, yeah. I would think so.
Tell them to tune in, usbnsports.com. Dan has got us all rigged up to where we're going to be good to go this week.
Yep.
And it's always fun to know that we have other folks listening out there. And send us an email, let us know that we're coming through. So far this year, when we've been on, the sound's worked out really well.
Absolutely, it's been worked out great. We just had an unfortunate situation last week and weren't able to go live on the internet, but we did the cable part of it. So hopefully that will not happen again.
So, Coach, this week, big game. It's the Channel 5 game of the week. I'm sure it's probably going to be featured on all 3 channels.
Channel 19 is going to be there as well beforehand. So, yeah, it's a lot of media attention. And, it's a big game and a great rivalry. So that's what it should be, and it makes it fun. But the bottom line is you still have to play, between the white lines, and our guys have to focus on that.
One more quick thing. It's supposed to rain Friday night. Is that going to impact you in any way? Or?
Nah, I don't know. I mean, not like we're throwing it all over the place.
Yeah.
It's going to be wet for them too. So I don't know. I mean, the turf's in decent shape, and who knows? Who knows? Hopefully not.
Yep. Okay. So good luck. We look forward to doing the game, and we'll talk about it next week.
Great.
For Dan Albers and Jeff Giesting, I'm Greg Ellis. Thanks for joining us on Redskin Review.